Hello, Hayfield Elementary. I'm sure that by now you guys are ready to get new library books, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. If you go to the school's homepage on the quick links off to the right here, you'll find that the second one down says Bookmobile. And that's the type of thing we're going to be doing, is having books come out to your house or coming out to your house to bring books back to school. So you just click on this link right here, and it'll take you to the library book pickup and drop off. So some things, if you do live in town or are driving through town, we'll have a drop off box in the high school vestibule there when you first come in. It'll be open the same hours that SAC is, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So feel free to drop your books off in the drop off box there. Please do not take books out of there because they're on other people's accounts. So if you would like to get your library books picked up, which I'm sure most of you are ready for some new ones, this is how we do it. You need to have the request in by 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And the Hayfield Banner bus service will come and pick them up on Tuesday afternoons then. So make sure you have all your requests in by 8 o'clock in the morning. If you are going to be returning books, please be sure they're in a plastic bag and hung outside on a doorknob so they can see them. Whoever picks them up is not going to come into the house, so you need to make sure they're visible for the person who picks them up. So, first things here, library book pickup. You want us to pick up the books. Parents, please put your first and last name here, a phone number, and an email address. And this is because in case we have any questions on the address or times and anything that we can get a hold of you. Here's the address where the books should be picked up, and then your city, zip, and then you would just click submit. And then the form would come to me, and I'd make sure that our bus service has your address and when to come pick up. So Tuesday mornings, like I said, they'll start their route around 10 o'clock a.m. So please make sure your books are in a plastic bag before 10 a.m. because the route will start at that time. So books do need to be returned first before you're able to get new books. So by Tuesday you return your books and you want new books, then on Thursday, every Thursday books will be brought out to you. So if you want to receive library books, you want to check them out, they'll be delivered on Thursdays. The form that you need to fill out needs to be done by 8 a.m. on Wednesday, so that gives me a whole day to get all the books together, packaged, and ready to go for the next morning. So books will be delivered Thursday, but you need to have this information filled up by Wednesday morning. Some of the kids already know what books they may want. If you're not quite sure, I have a link right here to the library catalog. You just click on that link and it brings you to our catalog. Since we are Hayfield Elementary School, click there and we're right here. You could just, maybe you want something about a princess, let's say. We're going to just type in princess. I'm just going to hit enter. And I'm going to have 195 different options come up. Over on this side it says show all. If I just click on show all, it'll just keep on going through. So this might be a little daunting to some. Some ways to figure out if this is what you would like. You can look right here. Levels are always going to be down here. So 4.4 means 4th grade, about mid-year. This is a 3rd grade book. 3rd grade book. This one is a very popular book. It's about a 1st grade level type book. Now, one thing you do need to keep in mind is that over here it tells me there are 0 of 3 available. So I do have 3 copies of this book, but 0 of them are available. They're all checked out at this point. So before you write books down like this, make sure you look over here to make sure it's available at this time. So you just look to see what kind of book you may want. This is kind of a funny book. Let's say we're going to pick this one right here. So I'm going to keep this page up. I'm going to go back up to the tab up at the top here. And I'm going to go make sure parents' first and last name, phone number, and email. And this is mostly for me now to make. Kids are allowed to have 3 books out at a time. And if you haven't returned your books, I'm not going to let you take out another book until those books are returned. So this phone number or email is very important to make sure I can get a hold of a parent to say, hey, we need a couple books back first. So student's first name and last name here, and the library number is the same as their lunch number. So I'm going to just say, I'm going to put in Betsy's name here. Oops. And her number, let's just pretend is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds good. Now if I can't remember, I'm going to go back to my tab what that book was called. The Princess and the Pony. First book title, The Princess and the Pony. And the call number really helps me out. To find the call number, it's going to be right here. So I just need to go PBE beat. So PBE beat. And that just helps me find the book a little bit quicker. Do you want additional books? I can say either yes or no. If I say yes, it's going to bring up the book title for the second one. So I can go back to my search results here. I'm going to scroll back up and go back up to catalog, and maybe I want a Magic Tree House book. I'm just going to put Magic Tree House, click enter, and there's a whole load of Magic Tree House books. So maybe I'll just go A Crazy Day with Cobras. Sounds pretty cool. I'm going to check over here. Oh, it's available, so I know I can get it. Come back here. So A Crazy Day with Cobras. Come back here. A Crazy Day with Cobras. Call number again is right here. Fick Osbo. So this is what I'm going to write. Fick Osbo. And if you don't capitalize it, it doesn't really matter. Do you want to check additional books? If I say no, then I'm done. If I have additional children, maybe say yes, and my second student is Steven. No, he wants to get a book out too. Library number, let's say he's 1, 2, 3, 3 then. And I'll go through the same thing with him. I'm just gonna, yep, there's my book, here's my call number, additional books, I say no. Additional children, I'll say no, and then you would submit. You can go up to 4 kids right here, and that would be how we would do that. So the main thing is learning how to work with the library catalog. If you have a student in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, they already know how to use the catalog. So you could ask them, and a lot of times they could help you out with it. So pre-K to 2nd grade, this might be kind of where you need to play with it a little bit. But if you actually have the title and the call number, it helps me find the book for you easier. So just a reminder that our library books, almost every kid was allowed, if you were there that last day of school, most every child brought home 3 library books. So at this point, most students have 3 library books at home if you were there that last day of school. Books are expected to be returned to school, and they are the responsibility of your student. So like I said, we'll pick them up if you just fill out this right here, making sure it's the accurate address where they should be picked up, and just to be sure that those books are in a bag that are hung outside so that the person driving the van can see them, pick them up, and we're out of there. If you do have any questions, you can send me an email, and I'll do the best I can at answering questions. And I do say, please bear with us. This is all brand new. We're hoping this works out well. And just, again, be looking at the highlighted areas here, because those are things that are most important right now. That books will be picked up on Tuesdays. Your requests need to be in by 8 o'clock Tuesday mornings, and making sure they're in a plastic bag hung outside. When you're going to be checking out books, They'll be delivered Thursday, but you need to submit a form by Wednesday morning. So that gives me time to get all the books together. So again, if you have any questions, you can email Sarah Gillette at school there, and hopefully this will work out and we can get some new books into everyone's hands. So thank you very much.